Hey everybody. It's a Monday, so came out to do a little bit of photography, as I so often do. Came to, I think, what might be the smallest park I've been to since I've moved. I was just looking and I went, okay, I found something on the bird app for locations. Never been here before. Thought it would be interesting. Small little park. Figured nobody would be here in the morning, and it looked like it was right next to some water and trees. It was raining recently. As recently as, well, let's see, I think I woke up at 4:30, and that's before my alarm goes off, and I looked out the window and went, it's a lot of wet out there. I'm not going anywhere today. Nice. Just stay in, relax for a change. And then alarm goes off at 5, and I get up and look and go, nope, it stopped. And it started back up, and I checked the radar, and yeah, it was just like two little storm clouds that kind of just went on, and I think they're what's between us and the sun. I don't know how well you can really see, but yeah, there's clouds over that way, and that's kind of where the sun is. So whether or not we're going to get any light, I'm not entirely sure, but it's worth a shot. We'll try. Never been here before. I think it's just going to be a small little park where we walk up and down with these trees. Maybe that'll be good. Maybe that'll be birds. I'm pretty sure any audio from video today will probably be lots of road noise, because right over there is a highway, a major highway. That seems to be all the parks around here. They went, all right, where do we put a park? Right next to the major highways. Cool. It's not, disruptive at all to the peaceful nature sounds when you're out using a park, but it is what it is. We're here. We're going to try it. We'll see. Zero expectations for today, but who knows? Let's walk around and see what we can see. Okay, yeah, small park, but I think big potential. I'm optimistic about it. We didn't see all that much today. Well, okay, no, I take that back. We heard lots of birds. We saw with our eyes lots of birds, but the number of birds that we could get through the lens, very little. It's unfortunate, but it's okay. First time I've ever been here, kind of getting lay of the land. Had to learn how it goes. The trail kind of goes from a few different points. This parking lot and another parking lot kind of go back, and they connect further in. And you go along one side, which is right next to the water, and there's lots of paths you can go down to get to the water. The river that's there, I'm not sure what river, but very low at this point in time, which makes sense. I think we're kind of near the end of summer here towards the end of August, or middle of August or something. It's in August. Summer will be coming to an end soon, hopefully. And we'll get into some nice fall weather. But lots of spots all along here for looking at birds, I think. There were plenty when we got here flying overhead when there was no light at all. So didn't see much there. And then we heard lots. I don't know too many. There was one point where we saw a hummingbird. It just went right past, completely silent, landed on a branch, started getting the camera ready, tried to get it in focus, and it was already gone by that point. Very quick, very brief, but cool. I think the only thing we really took pictures of were starlings and doves. Makes sense. It's pretty common. They're all over the place. Sure. And that's fine. But yeah, there were plenty of spots where I saw things like tree cavities where birds will, use as nests. We know that from like the kestrels that we saw last year, where they had built a nest inside a tree cavity and they were going in there with their fresh capture, probably for young. Not sure. I owls, and other birds, just to name a few. Birds will use tree cavities, and we saw some spots, good open spots where there were trees all around. This was a lot more, and I think just because we're near a water source, it's a lot more of, that's just a lot more growth than I think I've gotten used to in Colorado. There's not all that many places where you can go and see this much. I mean, some of the spots we've been to have been more open, and more field-like and less tree-covered and tall grass. Walk through the tall grass. Signs everywhere about ticks. Very important. Just because there's signs here doesn't mean that they're not everywhere, and I should be checking every time. But that is very important to check for ticks. And I did a look over here, but I will have to do a more thorough and make sure I wash clothes and myself as soon as I get home, which is where I'm headed next. So I think it was a good time out, even if we didn't see too much. I think this place will definitely be back here. I think we've got some good potential here for birds of various kinds to see, hopefully, along the water and through these kind of grassy fields and a lot up in the trees. Just come back and do a little bit better. I think I picked a few spots where I could sit and watch with a tripod as well. It'll be great for photography, but the video will never work. That's the only downside, is we are right next to a highway like we so often are, and unfortunately that road noise is just too much, and I've never found a good way to edit it out that's not also, like, you can take it and I could work with it in post-production to kind of, use it for voice, for dialogue. It's still usable. It's very noticeable that you have done a noise reduction on it, but you can take out some of the road noise and get okay audio for dialogue from humans. But birds also don't, that does not. No, you take out the road noise and you start taking out a lot of the bird calls as well. I don't know how to do it. I don't know if anyone does. I've certainly looked up, but I've never found some good evidence of a proper way to do that without removing a lot of the bird calls or distorting them, which is another thing. And that's where, like I said, you can tell that the dialogue is kind of muffled because it has to take out that constant drone of the road noise. And if you remove that kind of stuff, those frequencies, I assume, I don't know, I'm not an expert in this stuff, then yeah, the bird calls sound distorted as well. So anyway, might not be a great spot to do any video ever, but a good spot, I think, to just come and take some photos. Yeah. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today. So I'm out of here. Next time, who knows where we will end up. All right, buddy.